Get over here!
So this is finally happening, huh?
Yeah, wow, long time coming. When did we first announce this? Like a year ago?
Something along those lines, but, yeah, it's very, very clear that the Fire Emblem Blazing Sword Let's Play is, like, the most popular Let's Play on my channel, and people have been hammering at us to do another Fire Emblem playthrough.
And we knew that if we jumped right into another Fire Emblem that we would burn ourselves out and it would start getting stale.
I'm almost afraid we're gonna burn ourselves out on this one, bro. Because we're not just doing this one.
Yeah, we're doing the sequel too.
Yep. So, yeah, welcome everyone to the first episode of a brand new Let's Play one everyone has been hammering at us about.
Give us up.
I will admit though, like, I don't think everyone knew which Fire Emblem game we were going to do until, like, you know, we announced it a year ago,
Yeah.
and now, like, more people know because, like, I posted the thumbnail that Ignis made.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
Some people thought we should go to the next game that came out, which is Sacred Swords, or some people
Sacred
thought...
Stones.
I mean, Sacred Stones. And some people thought we should go to what takes place chronologically after Blazing Sword, which is Rekka no Ken.
Yeah, Binding Blade, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, we are doing...
Oh, right, Rekka no Ken is Blazing Sword.
Yeah, Rekka no Ken is Blazing Sword, and then there's Binding Blade, which is,
Yeah.
like, what happens afterwards. But no, we are going to be doing Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, and this is actually quite thematically fitting, because Blazing Sword is my personal favorite of the franchise, but this, the Tellius Saga, is your personal favorite.
Not Path of Radiance itself,
but Radiant
Dawn. And
but,
you can't have Radiant Dawn without Path of Radiance.
Absolutely,
like,
absolutely.
You can't do it. You can't go right into Radiant Dawn.
Like, if I were to, like, put it all together and everything, I wouldn't necessarily say that the Tellius Saga, like, Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn, has the best story.
It's a bit of a black sheep.
Not necessarily. I don't think it has the best gameplay or story, but it definitely has the best world building.
I think so, and I think that's what I love about it so much. I love this setting.
Like, I've consistently made this comparison, but the Tellius Saga, Path of Radiance, and Radiant Dawn, in my opinion, is the Game of Thrones of Fire Emblem.
It definitely is. There's so many characters, there's so many different, like, motivations crossing each other.
Yeah, different locations, and in my opinion, actually has one of the more believable scenarios when it comes to war, because, like, yeah, you have your side, which are generally the good guys, but it's not so clear-cut in this game.
Yeah.
There's a story to every single side, and that becomes even more prominent in Radiant Dawn. Because you actually are fighting for the opposite side in Radiant Dawn at the beginning.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, but that's getting way ahead of ourselves. First of all, we gotta go through this game.
Yeah.
Now, this. So, we have gotten a lot of advice regarding this. Now, would you care to explain the fiasco regarding the difficulty settings here?
Okay, so, Intelligent Systems, when they made this game, didn't have a lot of faith in us Americans. So pretty much what happened was they made their... Am I remembering this correctly? They made their normal mode our...
Difficult.
Yeah, our
Yeah,
difficult.
like, for all intents and purposes, difficult mode in this game is normal mode.
Normal mode is
Japanese
Japanese easy mode, and easy is a new thing created for us.
Yeah, and we are not going to be doing easy mode, not because, like, we want to challenge ourselves, like, that obviously that's part of it, but also because if we do easy mode, we're not going to be able to, transfer our data to the next game, because easy mode doesn't exist in Radiant Dawn.
Yeah.
And they screwed the pooch in Radiant Dawn. Because...
Yeah, Radiant Dawn, they do the opposite thing.
Yeah.
And everything's harder than it was in Japan.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to tackle Radiant Dawn on normal mode, but we're actually going to tackle this game on difficult mode.
Which is going to be kind of true normal mode.
True normal mode, and yes, we are going to be following our original ruling when we did in Blazing Sword. Permadeath is going to be a thing. We are not going to be restarting any chapters. So, keep that in mind.
Yeah, so who will live, who will die?
Yep.
It's going to be kind of hard to figure out going into Radiant Dawn.
The good thing about this game is that I don't expect us to get to, like, land ourselves in an unwinnable scenario at all, because, like, even if we do lose some players on the board, there's, like, so many different options in this game, especially in Radiant Dawn, where it doesn't necessarily become too big of a problem.
But it can be the chapters themselves can be so ruthless, but it gives you so many characters and with bonus XP.
Mm-hmm. And make no mistake, guys, like, I don't know about Path of Radiance, but Radiant Dawn, we're going to lose people. We are not going through this game unscathed.
Also, we'll be going through all the cutscenes and we'll be talking about them, but we won't always shut up to let you hear them. We won't always be reading it out loud, so, like, this is maybe not the ideal way to get the story, but we'll talk about the story sometimes. But we're not trying to give you the, like, pure experience of the game. We're trying to give you our stupid experience of the game.
Essentially, and speaking of which, this dude.
Best hero in Fire Emblem?
Actually, yes, I will agree with this. I always express that there's a difference between what I know is my favorite and what I think is the best. My favorite character, my favorite lord is Lyn. Always will be. But if you were to ask me who I think the best lord in all of Fire Emblem is, it's that guy right there.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. He's not the best lord right now. Right now he kind of sucks.
But he will be. And it's not just that, and aw, that's adorable.
Yeah, so what's going on here basically is, so that's Ike's mother.
Yes.
And that's his sister Mist, who was picking flowers. Their mother is no longer with us. She also had a bluish hair, which is why Ike has blue hair, because you gotta have blue hair.
Gotta have blue hair.
And their father is Grail, the big guy who was training Ike back there. Yeah, so are you just gonna move through the text while?
Yeah, we can just move through the text for the most part. Like, we'll like talk about it if, like, you know, it.
We'll probably voice some of the scenes, but not all of them. This is pretty standard stuff here. So Ike is really just learning swordsmanship.
Yeah, he's a what's the term, like, wet behind the ears, or like,
yeah, that's
or like something blood,
or he's green.
A greenhorn.
Yeah, he's a greenhorn.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, he is like a banana that is not ripened yet. He's a little green. He's not ready.
Yeah, he's a little green. That's what I was. That's what I was like going to.
But Grail here is the leader of the Grail mercenaries, which is one of the finest freelance mercenary groups in this area of Tellius. Through the next few chapters, we'll meet I think about 13 of them.
Yes. And, like, I like the relationship here. Like, Mist is the worried little sister. Ike is like the new blood in the company, who's, like, not quite ready to do any real work yet, but he's determined to, like, to prove himself. At the same time, though, he's humble. He's like, you know what? Yeah, I'm still very inexperienced. But I'm not gonna give up. And Grail's like the tough and loving father, where he's like, yeah, like, I love my kids, but if they're gonna be like dealing with the kind of business that I do, they gotta toughen up.
Yeah.
More so towards Ike. Mist is still kind of like, you know, she's still a kid.
And here we have one of my favorite units in the game.
Yeah,
at least from a
Boyd is a bro.
So Boyd is about the same age as Ike.
I think maybe like a year older.
Well, in either case, he's more experienced because his family has this own story about how they got into the Grail mercenaries. But the point is, Boyd has been on missions already for the Grail mercenaries. Ike has not.
Yes.
Ike has been at home and, like, Mist. You know, Mist does a lot of the cooking and stuff. She's a member of the Grail mercenaries, but she's not on missions.
It's actually really cool how they establish that dynamic, because, like, the Grail mercenaries, yeah, a bunch of them are mercenaries, but they still need people to, like, do upkeep. They still need clothes washed, they still need food to eat, they still need a camp to maintain.
Yeah.
And Mist does a lot of that, and she's perfectly fine with it.
Yeah, she's kind of... Even though she's the second youngest, she's also, like, kind of the team mom.
Kind of?
At least in, like, doing all the housework and stuff.
Like,
she's a real good cook.
Because if we're talking team mom, I think that might go to another character later down the line, but at the same time, not really.
Yeah, but
she's the lieutenant, but, you know.
Yeah, but we got Boyd here, who is kind of like a friendly rival to Ike. They'll grow out of that very quickly, but for these early chapters at least.
Yeah, like they are early rivals, eventually becoming brothers in arms.
Mist throws a lot of shade at Boyd all the time and calls him names, which is funny because they can get married at the end of Radiant Dawn.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And this isn't like newer Fire Emblem games where like everybody's getting married at the end. There's very few possible weddings, and that's one of them.
Possible marriage options here. Yeah. Does Ike never has an option like that, does he?
No, but he does have a few. He has one like special ending if he supports a certain character, but it's not marriage.
Yeah, it's not marriage. I don't know. I actually think I know who it is. Is it Soren?
Yep.
I thought so.
I mean, maybe in certain states it's marriage.
I mean, depends.
I've gone back and forth, but I kind of ship Ike and Soren, but not really. Their relationship's too complicated for me to just say I ship it.
Later down the line, it's basically a bromance.
Yeah.
Like, I remember, I remember Fiery Joker and Rabbid Luigi doing the top 10 bromances, and like I think one of them could have been Ike and Soren because they do treat each other like with that great level of trust and like camaraderie. So much so to the point where like it maybe even rivals a married couple.
Yeah, they're a pair that need each other.
Absolutely. Like for like different reasons. Like Ike needs Soren for certain reasons, but like Soren absolutely needs Ike for certain reasons, and that was easy.
Oh no, we killed Boyd. First death of the Let's Play.
No, he's not dead. This is just a practice match. Goodness.
Boyd, you're such a loser.
God damn it, Mist. Shut your trap.
So even though Boyd has seen combat, I still beat him in a sparring match, and part of that they chalk that up to the weapons triangle.
Yeah, no, this was like very much a tutorial mission where you just like, you get the idea of like how combat's going to work, the weapon triangle, advantages, disadvantages, things like that.
Boyd will even say in certain like dialogue options and stuff, he'll say like, "Oh, I hate fighting swords," and like they'll like acknowledge the weapon triangle.
Mm-hmm. He does get more options later because Boyd is a fighter, and anyone who's played through Fire Emblem knows about fighters. They get access to bows later.
He's also, I think, the only fighter in this game.
Is he?
He's a fighter. He becomes a warrior. I don't think we get another one in this whole game.
Wait, is Boyd really the only fighter?
I'm trying to think through it. Yeah, there's a berserker later who does much the same thing, but
I mean, wow, is he really the only fighter in this game?
I'm pretty sure.
I never noticed that.
Yeah,
Miss is being a little silly.
Yeah, Miss brought vulneraries.
Okay, so here we go. We are now fighting Grail himself. Actually, now that I think about
Level 10. That's such a freaking lie game.
Yeah, seriously though. I'm actually going to check the status here. So yeah, Grail is he's a hero. Like that is a promoted unit.
Yeah.
Obviously the stats reflect that the fact that he's still just training us. Like,
yeah.
If he were fighting at his full strength, we would be screwed.
This is like Grail training mode.
All right, let's actually take a look at Ike's scenario here. So we got a level 1 ranger, which is like the lowest of the low. But highly versatile warriors dedicated to improving their martial skills. They wield swords with remarkable skill. Interesting for a ranger who normally you'd associate with bows.
Yeah, he's a ranger in the sense that, like, in Lord of the Rings, they always refer to Aragorn as a ranger.
Yes.
Because he fights out in the field.
Mm-hmm. So, we also got things here where it's like, what does build? Build, unit's body size. It helps determine the unit's weight, which will also go into, like, rescue operations and things like that. Type, the unit's race, which is Biorhythm. That's going to be very important later. And we got weapon level, we got capacity, the percentage of the current assigned skills versus the unit's overall skill capacity. So we do have skills that we can get into, which is going to be important later. And this is another thing which we need to keep in mind, is Biorhythm. When the marker is high, the unit performs better. When it's low, the unit suffers penalties. So yeah, we actually have to keep in mind what turn it is and where the Biorhythm is at, because that can actually mean the difference between life and death sometimes.
Yeah, this is an interesting mechanic they threw in.
Mm-hmm. Which I actually kind of like, because like that's something more to keep track of. At the same time, though, it is something else to keep track of. And that's actually something I want to show off with Grail as well, because he actually has a skill, Discipline. Allows the unit to control strength when training, which I believe is why he has that skill and why his stats are so low, because he's just like, okay, let's have this activated so that I don't kill anyone.
Yeah.
Because, like, look at this. Like, the dude's unit, like, his build is 12. He has A and S on axes and swords.
Also,
like,
you'll see Grill fight with an axe a lot, actually. Him using a sword is kind of... he has a thing about using swords.
Yeah, but we'll get into that later. First of all, I'm going to move over here, and we are going to use a Vulnerary, because this is the Vulnerary tutorial.
Always take time to heal your wounds in a battle, even small ones. By the time you think you're in trouble, it's probably too late. Don't get into that situation. Let that advice ring through this entire Let's Play.
Yes, even if there's a small bit of health that we can heal, we are going to heal it.
Get ready, Ike. Here I come.
And I love the fact that Grail is like, did you take the time to heal your wounds? Okay, because if you didn't, well, you're gonna suffer.
Because I'm about to open up a
yeah,
can of
like,
whoop ass.
I do kind of like the fact that, like, Grail is basically like, hey, I'm going to move now. Bring it on.
I mean, it wouldn't be a very fair duel if he was still beat up from the last duel, I guess.
Alright. I am going to wait this time, actually.
Well, what would be the stats? I just want to see.
Yeah, good call. Because, like, he would do... Oh, he wouldn't actually be able to take us down, but I'd rather play safe than sorry.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna wait and let him attack first, and then I'll counter. Yeah, speaking of which, like, you can tell that Grail has a lot more experience because of the way his stance is, because look at Ike's.
Ike's stance is terrible.
It's absolutely terrible.
Also, that's a really heavy sword. Why would you hold it, like, Pinion Shodan style? Like...
Yeah, when he promotes, I think he has a stance that is a lot more accommodating.
I know Ike in Smash Brothers and stuff, and later in these games becomes famous for the guy who can one-hand a two-handed sword, but... Look at those stringy arms. That's... Bad form, Ike.
And there's a level up. Please give us a good level up.
Yeah, we're at the mercy of these stack roads.
Not terrible. HP and strength is always important.
Okay. Would have liked some defense, but that's alright.
Eh. And hey, Ike actually landed a blow. But I can tell he was holding back.
Oh yeah, Grail is a big deal.
Oh yeah. And I like that advice. Like, if you could tell the difference, that means you're improving. Let's say we voice these where, like, their portraits are up.
Portraits, yeah.
You do, Boyd and Grail. I'll do Ike and Mist.
You know, I wasn't really giving it my all either.
That's such a lie.
Bah.
So, Father, does that mean that you'll finally admit that I'm ready?
What? To join the company? To take on a job?
Yeah. I mean, Boyd's already out there on the battlefield. I'm ready. I'm tired of being a trainee.
Listen, the difference between you and me is that I'm a professional.
A professional who just got beat.
That was just random chance. Random chance. You got a point, Ike. Alright. Tomorrow will be your first day as a full-fledged mercenary.
Really?
But, if I think it's too much, you're back to trainee status. You'd better work hard.
No problem. Watch, I'll catch up to you everyone in no time.
We'll see. We better be heading back to the fort. Everyone's waiting.
I think that's a good balance. Like, we can, like, voice the ones, like, where their portraits are up like that, and, like, we'll
There's
just...
so much dialogue
Oh
in
my
this
god,
game.
there is a
I love it.
There is a crap ton. But, that was pretty good for a first episode.
Yeah, I'd say so.
So, yeah, guys, just a bit of a recap. We're going to be going through all of Path of Radiance, and we will eventually branch into Radiant Dawn, utilizing the memory transference that is offered in Radiant Dawn. But again, that's getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, so characters we use a lot will get a little bit of a boost.
Yes, which is great. But more importantly, yes, we are going to be following the same rule that we did in Blazing Sword, in that if we lose someone, we have to live with it or die with it. In this case, we're not going to be resetting anything. If we lose someone, they're gone. So we'll see where that leads.
Tears will be shed, controllers will be thrown.
I hope not, because I don't want to owe you like $50 for a GameCube controller.
Yeah, Wavebirds are hard to come by now.
Seriously. And you know what? Probably, like, nowadays, Wavebirds would probably cost me, like, maybe upwards of 100, because, goodness gracious, these things are hard to find now.
This game, physical copy of this game, I'm so happy I bought this at launch.
Goodness gracious. I'm glad you kept it.
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't have my copies anymore.
Selling things is dumb.
Dude, like, no, seriously, you probably have, like, at least $2,000's worth of merchandise on that shelf over there.
I got my like Little Mermaid, like Ariel's little grotto of like stuff.
Yo,
that I just
good.
come in here to like look at all of it and be happy.
You are a collector, man, and you should be proud of that. But anyway, thank you guys for joining us for the first episode of Let's Play Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, the first of many. This is a long game, and Radiant Dawn is even longer. Oh boy.
Place your bets, first death.
God, I hope not. Oh dear.